Before you can figure out where you're going, you gotta look back at where you've been. There's things that happen that seem like they didn't mean nothing at the time. But then you realize they mean everything.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Mr. Power, and we're back with another video. And obviously, you guys seen in the description, the topic for this video is the most important spinoff is Raising Kanan. And one of the reasons I wanted to make this video is because I've seen a lot of conversations on social media. People have been talking about, well, why did Raising Kanan get renewed for season 4 and 5? And why did Ghost get canceled for season 5? And Force also got canceled as well. And I feel like people they only look at the surface stuff, right? There's so many reasons as to why Raising Kanan is being continued and not the other two shows. Number one, as I stated before, Raising Kanan is the most important spinoff for a lot of reasons, right? Raising Kanan is really the origin story before the origin story, right? When you think about it, in order for you to have Ghost and Tommy's story, you have to see Kanan grow up first. You have to see his maturation process. You have to see the process of him becoming who he is and was, right? And what better way to do that than to have his upbringing with his family, with his mom, with his uncles, and kind of build his character up so that when he crosses over to Power Origins, it just makes more sense for the story, right? Because we've heard so many times in OG Power how close Ghost, Tommy, and Kanan were, especially Ghost and Kanan, right? And how Kanan, essentially got set up by Ghost, and how Ghost, set him up to go to jail, blew the tail out, all that stuff. And even Ghost said how he loved him like a brother, so he didn't want to kill him. These are very, very important things that we have to touch on in the storyline in order for the story to hit, right? If Raising Kanan doesn't do their story due diligence, how are we going to get Power Origins, and how is that going to be an elevated story? You have to focus on Kanan's story first, right? And, when you watch Raising Kanan, and then you watch OG Power, so many of the things that happen make so much sense, like Kanan killing Jukebox, and even the way that he treated Tariq and how he's seen himself in Tariq. We wouldn't really understand these things like that if we didn't get a Raising Kanan. So in order for us to kind of understand even more of the things that we've seen in the OG Power, we need to watch Power Origins, right? We need to see how Ghost got his nickname. We need to see the upbringing. We need to see Ghost's dad. We need to see how Ghost met Tasha, Angela. All of these things are very, very important when it comes to pushing the storyline forward. But fans don't care about that, right? Fans don't care about that. They just want to get what they want to get. They just want to see what they want to see. But these prequel shows, you have to take precaution with these prequel shows. I don't think people understand. A prequel show is way different than a present day show, right? When you're doing a prequel show, you're kind of telling a retelling of a story that we've kind of already seen in a sense, right? We already know how all of these characters end, right? We know how Ghost ends, Tommy ends, all of these people. We know who they become in the end. But the real story is obviously how they get there. And if we don't get that story told in the right way, well, it fucks it up for everything, right? It kills the whole universe. That's why I pretty much said if Power Origins isn't a smash hit, it could be the end of the Power universe, and it could kind of tarnish everything they built up to this point, which is why I'm so confident that that's why they renewed Raising Kanan for season 5, right? They don't want to rush this show, right? You guys do not want another Power book to go season 4. I know you guys don't want another one of those, right? That was a very disappointing season, and that's what happens when a show gets rushed. That's what happens when a show gets canceled and they don't get to really flesh out the story. Thank God that didn't happen with Raising Kanan. And I knew they weren't going to do that with Raising Kanan because we know that Raising Kanan is going to lead into Power Origins, right? And that even got confirmed even more once Raising Kanan got confirmed for season 5. I'm pretty sure the last season of Raising Kanan is going to be season 5. And then, we might have a little year break before they transition into Origins, assuming that they're already working on that right now, right? These are all the things that we need to understand, right? When you're going from story to story to story, especially when you're going from one prequel to another, the storytelling has to be phenomenal, right? Because us as fans, when we watch the show, we're going to be able to tell the difference. We're going to tell when the storyline is lazy, when the writing is lazy, when the character development is lazy. We don't want anything rushed, right? And it's why so many people, they don't like Raising Kanan, especially the first 2 seasons, because they felt like it was slow. Well, of course it's going to be slow, right? You're telling the story of a character that we've literally already seen die. So when you are playing a character that we've already seen, especially when you're playing with a delicate character like a Kanan character, we need to see that shit flushed out. We don't want to get it rushed. We don't want none of that bullshit. So this is why things in the Power universe have kind of been going the way that they've been going. They're taking more of a prequel route, right? They're focusing more on a prequel universe rather than a present day. Because when it comes to the present day stories, I mean, what other stories are they really to tell, right? Everyone keeps talking about all these new spinoffs that they want to do. Kane should get a spinoff. This person should get a spinoff. But in reality, none of that is necessary, right? The stories that have been told are enough. Like, everyone doesn't need to get a spinoff. The only spinoff that really matters at this point is Raising Kanan and Power Origins. Anything they do else moving forward is just something that they're just giving us to be entertained. It's not real storytelling, right? That's why when I say, like, if they do a Tariq and Tommy story, what story are you going to tell? Like, how much further can you take these two characters? They've both been playing the character for damn near a decade. Like, what else are we going to see? What other villains are they going to create that are going to intrigue us? And if they do, it's just going to be like it was before, where they just have them for one season, kill them off, and then do what they do and recycle that process again. So this is why I think Raising Kanan is the most important spinoff. And it's just, you can even tell when you watch it, right? You can tell when you watch it, the delicate details that they put into this show, from the storytelling to the character development, right? We always talk about how Marvin's character has developed so well. We've seen Kanan's character development. We've seen Lou's character development with the stuff that he was going through last season. This is the stuff we want in a TV show. We want realistic, to a degree. We want realism, right? We want a degree of realism. And in Raising Kanan, I feel like there are consequences for the characters, right? Looking at Lou's character, I mean, Lou was going through it. That's real, right? There's no way that you're just going to be a gangster and just catching all these bodies and nothing catches up with you. And even Marvin's character, in a sense, right? We've seen him last season, how the feds are starting to close in on him. And I think coming into this season and maybe next season as well, we're going to see, Rock starting to suffer, because we didn't really see Rock suffer like that, right? We've seen bits and pieces of her going through some stuff, but she hasn't really had her moments where she's going through it. And I think coming into this season, she's going to be going through it, right? Seeing how her relationship with her son is shattered and it's getting worse and worse. That's going to make for great storytelling, right? So we're going to keep covering Raising Kanan. We're going to keep covering all the spinoffs. Make sure you guys tune in. We are uploading daily. Lock in with your boy. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Follow us on all platforms at Mr. Power. And we'll catch you in the next one.